report you're going to believe if God done promised it. God is a man that he cannot lie. God would keep his word.
Yes, he will.
See, we turn our lives over in the hands of man, and they can't do nothing for themselves. How can they help you? Come on, women.
That's true.
It's time to wake up and realize.
Yes, it is.
Shake yourself. So I'm shaking myself. You got to shake yourself, because you know what? You've been sleeping too long. You slept too long. And you keep waking up.
Yes.
Not in a better place.
Wow.
You waking up. And you still looking at your past. And you ask yourself, oh, no, God, how can I deserve the promise after what I done done? Grace.
Yes. Lord have mercy.
My God.
Thank you, Lord.
God's grace. None of us deserve what we have.
All right then.
Because God favored you.
Yeah.
And he favored you because he saw something in you. And what God does in the mix of divine favor, he separates you from the rest. And now he allowed everybody else to see you the way he sees you.
Thank you, Lord.
He pulls you out of the fire.
Yeah.
And where he's taking us, he's taking you. Because Rahab crossed over with the rest of us. After all she's been through, because we all gathered throughout our family, we got that one individual we ain't proud to talk about. His name come up, we make it. He way down the line. No, that's your brother. We got him. We all got somebody in our family that we ain't proud to stand up and testify about or put them on the prayer list. That's some strange stuff.
Yes, it is.
But you know what happens? It's that same one that you don't talk about God always got in mind. That very one that you don't tell the church, pray for my son, pray for my daughter. It's the same one God will use to pray for you. Because God sees potentials. He sees your potential. And his potentials is connected to the promise. Because everything God created, he created with potentials. And what God is saying in this hour in closing, this is what he's saying. Don't let your past interfere with your future. Because your future got no room for your past. How we got in enough trouble trying to take yesterday and put it in today? You understand what I'm saying, bro?
Come on now.
Come here for a minute. Come here. Come here. We're about ready to get up out of here, but I cannot go giving you this word. There comes a time when we just got to say, enough is enough. You have allowed your gift more as a talent to stop you from walking in your calling. For years, God been dealing with you to bring them closer, and all eyes is upon you. You got to lead them up out of what they did. See, sometimes we look for others to do what God called us to do. It is you bring them up out of it. If you got to stop singing and start preaching. Because why? It's the word that God has placed in your mouth that's going to get your whole household saved. Stop allowing people to distract you from your destiny. Stop allowing people to distract you from your destiny. God said, baby girl gonna be all right. Stop having sleepless nights saying, God, do it. God said, I already done it. Your heaviness and your struggle is not sin.
Come on now.
Your struggle has always been trying to get your family back together. But God said every time He gives you a word, the enemy so easily distract you. Because why? You've been waiting to say, God, just speak the word, speak the word. You don't need a whole blown out sermon. Just one word you need from the Lord. And the word God said is go forth. It's your time. It's your time to come out the back. It's your time to come out from among them. Because you see what they don't see.
Come on now.
It's just like Balaam trying to go in a way that God forbid him to go.
Come on there. Come on there.
You can't bless what God don't curse.
All right.
Stop trying to redo what God had already done.
Come on now. All right.
Talk about it.
A year ago, God removed you. And you went right back.
All right.
And God said, this is the last time.
Come on now.
I'm going to send you word.
Speak the word.
And you hear me, but you don't obey me.
All right. Come on now.
Your work and your greatest work is in the church.
Amen.
When you hit the highway, you feel so uneasy. Because why? You out of your blessed place. Just like the prodigal son, you assign yourself to the hog pens. And everybody around you are getting blessed but you. And you saying, God, what about me? God said, until you stop allowing your past to affect your promise and watch your potential go work in you, God will bring it forth. See, men, we look for men, when we talk about potential, we look at men because men are the most prominent thing. But when a woman has potentials, and God placed, watch this, in the woman the ability to bring forth. This is where it gets difficult at. This is where it gets difficult at. You ain't got to worry about dragging her along. When you get in line, she gonna be in line. It's just like you put it weights. It's just like you pick your cross up. You're on your way to carry. It gets heavy. But watch this, keep going. Because when you get to that place of suffering, that place of death, you're right where God wants you at. Why? Because you can't determine nobody.
All right. Come on now. All right.
This is something God got to do.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be done in secret.
All right.
It can be done for them all to see.
Yeah.
It can be done before them all to see.
Come on now.
Because what God is trying to show this church, when I say the church, not just this church, the church age,
Come on now.
is that I can take the least unteachable. See, they say you disobedient. You ain't disobedient. You just don't follow along with the suit. You don't love doing it. It ain't that you don't love it. You die for it. But you know that's not your calling. See, a lot of us get caught up in our gifting and our talent and accepted for our calling. No, wrong.
Come on now. Come on now.
Kaboom.
Man of God, this is your time.
Yes.
Come on here.
This is your time. And when you step forward, watch the family come